From the Joy News Center. This is News at 8.
Now, thank you for joining us for the Primetime Bulletin here on the Joy News channel. Coming up, 2 dead and renewed clashes between Alavanyo and Nkonya communities in the Volta region. We're told that residents are fleeing the town. We'll be speaking to the regional minister. The British High Commission clarifies policy requiring Ghanaians to make a £3,000 sterling refundable deposit before entry to that country. We return to Ashaiman for an update on the state of their roads at the heart of yesterday's massive demonstration. And minority in parliament vowed to oppose government attempt to raise $1 billion from the international capital market. We have all these plus sports, showbiz and business coming up.
News at 8 with Israel Lai.
Residents of the Volta region town of Alavanyo are said to be fleeing their town following a shooting incident which led to the killing of 2 persons. The shooting is linked to the prolonged land dispute between the town and neighboring Nkonya. 2 others sustained gunshot wounds in the latest violence. The latest development has compelled the Regional Security Council to tighten security in the town. Regional Minister Ni Laya Fotiagbo says the situation is getting out of hand and hints of plans to invite the leaders of the 2 communities to Accra to dialogue. He joins us on the line now with the very latest on the situation. Good evening to you, Regional Minister. Can you confirm the casualties as a result of the latest disturbances?
Yes, I think just like I said, there was a shooting incident today and then yesterday in which 3 people were affected. 2 died and luckily 1 survived. So quickly, the one who survived was rushed to the hospital at the whole regional hospital, and she is receiving treatment as of now. But as I speak to you now, I'm getting reports from the ground that as around 2 p.m. this afternoon, the people of Alavanyo mobilized themselves and then moved into the forest to fight back because they feel they are being intimidated and aroused by the Nkonya people. But I think the cause of that, there was exchange of fire, but the military and the police quickly moved in and then separated the 2 communities from having serious clashes. But by then, I think 1 person was killed, and as I speak to you now, the body is being sent to the morgue.
All right, we're told that residents are fleeing the town. Do you know where these residents are going to, or if there's any provision being made for them?
I think we have had the assemblies within the 2 areas to move in. The assembly, the teacher relatives, mobilize some of the assembly members, and then the police and the military in the area to go aid of those who are in the area. And looking at the situation, it's a very critical situation that we are trying to calm both sides down. It looks as if they all trust themselves, they believe in themselves. So they are hiding and moving into different locations and then just trying to retaliate as to what is being done to each other. Because this thing started not today and attacked each other. People have been killed from both sides, and they want to retaliate in a way. So we are trying to just use the military and the police to make sure we don't have serious situation on our hands.
Now, how about the perpetrators of these killings? Is the police making any headway in trying to...
It is a situation that you can't identify or know who did what. because people don't come out in the open to shoot. People hide in the bush to kill, and then those who even survive sometimes cannot even identify those who shot at them. This is a situation that you cannot just move in and start arresting people, because of the terrain, because of how the nature of the area. You cannot just come out and say these are the perpetrators, so they should be arrested. And you even get anybody from both sides to tell you that these people, this man was involved in the killing, or this one is the one who shot. You see, that is why we are trying to engage them one-on-one and then work on them to stop what is going on. Once we look into the real issue.
How about bringing men onto the ground to forestall any further reprisal attacks?
Oh, to be frank, honest with you, the police and the military can only go to the communities. They can only be in the communities. They can't go into the bush. And most of the times, it is in the bush that they are killing each other. That is the problem that we have, and that is what makes the whole situation very dicey.
All right, thank you very much. Nilaya Futiagbo is the regional minister. Thank you for making time to join us to give us that update on the fluid situation between the towns of Alavanyo and Nkonya in the Volta region. We'll be monitoring the situation and we'll bring you the very latest on it as and when we have it available. In other news, the UK government has been clarifying recent media reports about proposals to review visa procedures for visitors to that country. The reports have centered around the institution of a visa bond, which will require visitors from some countries considered as high risk to make a deposit of £3,000 sterling before being allowed entry to be refunded at the end of their stay. A statement from the British High Commission says the policy, which aims to tackle abuse in the immigration system, was announced some time ago, is still under consideration and that details are still being finalized. Though it concedes Ghana is being considered as a pilot country along with many others, it says no final decision has yet been made. The statement adds that in the event that the pilot scheme goes ahead, the vast majority of visitors will be processed in the normal way and that only a very small number of the highest risk visitors will be required to pay a bond. It, however, concludes the scheme would be rolled out worldwide, if the pilot is successful, and that high-risk visitors of all nationalities would be eventually required to pay a bond. So the clarification is that no firm decision has been taken yet, and that even the pilot scheme goes ahead, the vast majority of visitors will be processed in the normal way, and that only a very small number of the highest risk visitors will be required to pay a bond. Meanwhile, the Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Ministry is expected to assess the recent directive by the British government requiring Ghanaians to make a bond deposit of £3,000 before entry into the United Kingdom. The directive affects a number of countries the UK describes as high risk. Deputy Information and Media Relations Minister Felix Kwachiofosu briefed journalists on the matter at the Flagstaff House today. He also announced government will be restructuring some ministries to correct a duplication of functions detected in the ongoing assessment of the various ministries.
The £3,000 bonds that the British government is reported to have introduced for some selected countries. I think the matter has just come to the notice of government, and the Foreign Ministry is the appropriate agency to deal with it. I do believe that they are in the process of assessing that particular matter and coming out with the appropriate response.
He revisited the ongoing ministerial strategy assessment and some of the interesting developments that have come up.
It has offered scope for the identification of overlaps in functions among various ministries, and it has therefore created room for the harmonization and streamlining of the programs so that we do not have unnecessary duplications of functions and unnecessary overlaps. It has also made it possible for the prioritization of the deliverables within the context of available resources. You know that before we can make headway, it is important to carry out certain critical reforms in various sectors of our national life. And these presentations have painted a clear picture as to what has to be done going.
Kwache Fosu said government is also satisfied the various ministries are staying within their budgets as directed.
The president has noticed that ministers who have made presentations have kept their programs within available budgetary allocation.
He rejected suggestions that Sherman unrest is similar to recent uprisings in the Middle East, asserting that it is rather proof that Ghana is a democratic state, but one which will not countenance any illegalities in the exercise of these rights.
Now we're seeing at the presidency where vocational and technical training is one of the avenues government will explore in an attempt to end youth unemployment. President Mahama said this will be upgraded to produce graduates who fit in a competitive world. He was speaking at the Flagstaff House when former German President Horst Kohler paid a courtesy call on him.
Beside bilateral relations, education and the need for relevant skills for the youth dominated talks between the two leaders. Horst Kohler advocated for a system in which technical persons do not look down on their profession as one of the ways in dealing with unemployment.
Entrepreneurship is not just where you can make as a president or a government, it's like this and all of a sudden you have all the entrepreneurs. It needs to be a process of training. It needs to be a process of changing the culture in society, and that takes, of course, time. But you need to give it attention politically, support from government, but also attention and appreciation in the society. I learned, for instance, in my kind of notes that vocational training seems, also in your society, not to have the highest, say, estimation. So civil servants have a higher estimation than a craftsman or a technical person. And fortunately, I must tell you, in Germany, that's not such a problem. With us, it's more that if someone has a technical profession, often he feels prouder.
President Mahama said small and medium-scale enterprises would also be supported in the job creation drive.
Often if you set up a business and you don't have the skills to run it yourself, we have a culture where Ghanaians would insist on running their own business instead of employing people who can run the business for them to run it, and then you sit and, you, at the end of the year, take your profit and your dividends, but we insist on being the managing director ourselves, even if we don't have the skills to manage the business properly. And so these are issues that we need to unbundle and bring reforms into those areas so that we can see small and medium enterprises growing, utilizing credits that government can make available to them on easier terms than they can get from the bank. And that will allow them to expand their businesses, to employ more young people into the enterprises. So I am all with you in this conference.
Mr. Kohler, who is in the country to attend a meeting of European and African entrepreneurs, presented to the President a State of the Youth report prepared through the collaboration of young African and German entrepreneurs. Horst Kohler is a German politician of the Christian Democratic Union. He was President of Germany from 2004 to 2010. Gifty Andopia, Joy News.
Now, concerns from various quarters about compliance to the Public Health Act 2012, which prohibits advertising of tobacco and its related products, has prompted stakeholders to call for some action to raise awareness about the law. At a news conference today on the issue, Alternative Development, an NGO, highlighted subtle violations of the Act, such as promotion of tobacco smoking in movies, and called for action against all such culprits.
Research indicates almost 100 million people will meet their untimely deaths annually as a result of tobacco-related diseases. This is because tobacco smoke contains more than 700,000 chemicals and compounds, 100 of which are toxins, resulting in diseases like lung cancer, bronchitis, and emphysema. In Ghana, the Public Health Act 2012, Act 851, was unanimously passed into law by Parliament in July 2012. Section 6 of the Act focuses on tobacco control measures, seeking to provide legal backing to previous efforts at banning its use in public places, advertising and sale, among others. The NGO, however, says tobacco advertising and promotion is taking place as sponsorship.
Almost 90% of smokers smoke their first cigarette before the age of 18 years, and almost a quarter of these individuals began smoking before the age of 10. Pictured a man smoking and a child standing nearby. And then we also have here some candy toffees, which has the shape and the form of cigarettes, which also flooded the market. So these are some of the tactics that tobacco industry is using to get children hooked to tobacco smoke. The purpose for which tobacco advertising, promotion, and sponsorship is to encourage young people and children to begin smoking, and those trying to quit to continue their deadly addictions.
Even though it is not done glaringly on public television, some programs like the Big Brother Africa reality TV show, viewed by millions of Africans, is identified as one such platform that glorifies tobacco use.
The Big Brother that is being shown, the housemates are all smoking. It's a form of advertising, and everybody is looking at it. The youth is looking at it. This is a form of advertisement. This impedes efforts to educate people about the harms of tobacco use and create an illusion that tobacco is just an ordinary consumer product, and hides the fact that it is a product that kills.
Fully aware of the health risks, many addicts have tried unsuccessfully to quit smoking. Unfortunately, tobacco addiction in Ghana is treated only by the psychiatric hospitals. Dr. Che Farid, Director of Disease Control at the Ghana Health Service, revealed the World Health Organization is ready to support Ghana, train health workers for district staff. Hopefully, that should provide some comfort for addicts willing to kick the habit.
We're taking a break now, but we have more stories coming up. Don't go away. The Lands Commission is yet to pay owners of lands acquired for the construction of the Tetekwashi to Apemkwa Road in 1973. In the case of one of the affected landowners who is now deceased, it emerged that though a check had been written in his name, it never got to him. Chief Valuer Kwesi Benti Angel was giving testimony when he appeared before the Judgment Debt Commission.
There was a compensation payment of 11,320 Ghana cedis to one Dr. Vanderpoy, deceased. In the course of his testimony, he intimated to the commission that even though the said amount had been set aside as compensation to be paid to the deceased person's next of kin, the money had not been paid. He also made us aware that the compensation was in respect of 1.1 acres. We had on our records 1.10 acres. There are 9 other people who are also claiming some compensation. Or when there's a road construction, basically you will not have only one person affected by the construction. There will be a whole lot of others who also come in with their claim.
The first to appear before the commission was the managing director of Kai Ghana, Amadou Kalim, awarded a 1,200 Ghana cedi contract to construct a small-scale irrigation project for the Kolingo farming community. The company was subsequently paid 554,870 Ghana cedis after it sued the Attorney General and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture for wrongly terminating the contract, though work done after the evaluation in 1985 amounted to 280 Ghana cedis. The company was asking to be compensated for the delay in settling them, but sole Commissioner Justice Apo said there was no justification as the full sum had been fully paid in 2008. In the case of Alex Hammer, he had his 56,000 cedis confiscated to the state after serving a 5-year term for subversion. The Bank of Ghana, after revaluing his money on 3 scenarios, paid him the least, amounting to 7,133 cedis. Dissatisfied, he is asking the Commission to pay him the highest valuation of 74,000 cedis.
Now, modern policing is now shifting more towards proactive policing to reduce crime. In pursuance of the Better Ghana agenda, policing is being taken to the doorsteps of citizens. Marianne Toure has been around town to assess the effects of increased police presence on our roads.
We have experienced a visible increase in the number of policemen on our roads and in our communities. Some in patrol cars, others on motorbikes, and those we see under tents at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, the Arts Centre, Accra Mall, and other places within the capital. Observing through the capital to see what they do on a typical day, I engaged a few who refused to grant interviews and directed me to the police headquarters if I needed clarification on their mission on our streets, so I went there. ACP Sika Nolte is director of the National Patrol Department of the Police Service, established in February this year and tasked with frontline service delivery to create security and eliminate fear and social mistrust and lawlessness among citizens.
Green, where we are operating, we have the field tents, and then we have the vehicles standing, then we have the red police motorbike patrol points. For now, we have two teams for the motorbike. The requirement is that they must stand outside visibly and show their police presence to ward off crime. Now we are in phase 2. 2 or 3 will be standing by the vehicle, whilst 2 or another 3 walk the beach about 20 meters to also show police presence and come back and they change. They have times to be at the duty, so if you want to monitor, you will go.
He explained further the increased police presence goes a long way to bridge the gap between the police and the citizenry.
We are trying to bridge that problem because if we look at the developments taking on in Ghana and our own strategic national policing plan, from 2010 to 2014, we have plans to construct about 200 police stations. But if you ask to date how much has been achieved, no money, so nothing has been achieved. You understand? But with these visibility patrols and duty points, people can report their cases. The men, for now, they are not effecting arrests. They call and then quickly action is taken by other active police units. By the time we come when they will become full-fledged, and then we would arrest and then patrol using the car to move. But we are there to offer policing assistance to the public.
He believes this has been made possible due to government support for the service.
It's also become possible due to government support. In the history of Ghana Police, I'll tell you, this is the time police is having shiny cars. I'll use that word. And you understand, good cars. Formerly, police cars are rickety, old cars, smoky, and people deride the police. Now, police, and we also don't want to misuse the vehicles, and hence we position them for at least every Ghanaian to also see and appreciate the car the police is using.
All right, work has commenced on the main road connecting the Ashamang Lorry Station, Teshi Nungwa Road, and the motorway. It comes less than 24 hours after a massive demonstration by residents over the poor nature of their roads. Even though the drivers are happy with the development, they are threatening another demonstration unless there's significant improvement. But how poor are the roads in Ashamang? Such that the residents who staged a demonstration as massive as happened yesterday only to make their point. Emmanuel Lante has been on a ride through the principal streets of the town.
It was very difficult driving through what I call manholes. Sitting in the vehicle was uncomfortable as the car swung consistently, making it extremely difficult for the cameraman to remain stable whilst filming. This truck almost overturned trying to access the Ashamang Zongo lane. Almost all the adjoining roads to the main Tema-Ashaiman road were very hard to access, as motorists found difficulty even initiating a curve. According to drivers at Afariwa Junction, it gets even worse when it rains.
If there is rainfall, the car cannot come. There are, I think, there are potholes on the road. People, because of that, their car gets spoiled. They don't come to work. So we have been appealing to the government, even the assemblymen, to help us, but they have not been doing that. This road is linked actually many people to go to Zenu, Lebanon, Atareka. So where there is traffic, they pass through this road.
For the pedestrians, going to work is a major challenge, especially when it rains.
Road network is not good. Our road from here, the whole Ashama, the road is not good. From here down to Afariwa and the main road to the main station, the roads are not good at all in Ashama. When it's rain, there will be a cloud and these things, and so much this thing on the road, so that you cannot get where to go.
The only road which seemed in a fairly better condition was the main roads connecting Tema and Ashaiman. Even that had its own challenges. The road leading to the municipal assembly was just as bad, even though there seemed to be some work being done on some section of the road network in the town. The MCE said it is only a short-term intervention.
This job has been given to a contractor and is going to be paid for it. What the assembly does is just some interventions to just make the place more travel for people to use. What we did yesterday was one of the interventions that we've been making. Some time ago it rained and we had potholes on the road. We went in to make sure that the potholes were patched.
According to him, the Ministry of Roads and Highways is treating the matter with urgency.
Government has taken a very serious view of this situation. Even before this demonstration, government is making available resources to the contractor so he can complete the job.
The road leading to the main Ashaiman market, the Zenu road, and some parts of Ashaiman, Lebanon leaves much to be desired. Even though work has commenced on some of the roads, the dramatic change the people of Ashaiman are looking for will not happen anytime soon. But if the promise made by the MCE is anything to go by, Ashaiman can expect some significant improvement by the end of December this year. Emmanuel Ayante, Joy News, Accra.
A new neonatal intensive care unit and a new ward for children suffering malnutrition at the Princess Marie Louise Children's Hospital here in Accra has been inaugurated to help improve medical services to children in and around the metropolis. The hospital today celebrated 88 years of providing health care to its clients.
The Princess Marie Louise Hospital has been the only pediatric hospital in the country seeing to child health needs of children in the Accra metropolis. On a daily basis, it does receive an outpatient attendance of 250 and at least 20 admissions in its 4 wards. With the inauguration of a new ward for children suffering from malnutrition and a neonatal unit, the old block for the neonatal unit will now be set for the hospital to commence surgical operation. Board chairman of the hospital, Father Campbell, hints of more expansion projects.
This new surgical block, we're going to get many more children coming here for care. Our laboratory and X-ray unit and pharmacy are small, so we want to build the 3-story building, X-ray, pharmacy and laboratory. So Tuesday we'll have our first surgical operations.
Even though the hospital is steadily progressing, it is currently faced with a number of challenges, including understaffing and records keeping, as folders of patients have found their way out of the records department.
We need more doctors so they can run the place effectively. Now we have to rely on what you call local doctors to come and help, and that's expensive. You need to pay them. With the increasing numbers, so some of the folders are out, but we also have what it needs to be. We need to computerize the system. If you are able to computerize the system, so some of these challenges will be solved.
Management and staff of the hospital are are appealing to organizations to support the cause of saving the lives of children and also the construction of.
Up next, we bring you your report. Right, so tonight, citizen journalist Elom sent us this video of water supply from Bakpe in the northern district of the Volta region. He said he was amazed to see the kind of water the people of the residents of the community rely on for their domestic chores. Boreholes do not function, and so they're compelled to rely on this unwholesome sources for their daily activities. Children are the worst of it, he says, as they are exposed to all kinds of diseases from drinking the unwholesome water. Elom made a passionate appeal to philanthropists and corporate organizations to come to the aid of the village and provide wholesome water for the people. That's what Elom sent us. And you can send us your video as well. You can send your video or pictures to our WhatsApp number 0544344722. And certainly, if you bring us something very interesting enough, we're going to share it with the rest of the world. So thank you very much, Elom, for sending us your WhatsApp video. Up next, we bring you business news.
Joy News Business is brought to you in association.
The minority in Parliament has vowed to oppose government's second Eurobond estimated at $1 billion when the report of the Finance Committee is laid on Thursday. Some minority members have described the issue of the second Eurobond as unnecessary, since it will only add to the country's already soaring debt estimated at some $40 billion. Vice Chairman of the Finance Committee, Dr. Mark Asibe Yeboah, justifying the loan, he says, will be used to settle local debts accrued by governments.
What this is going to do is basically 250 million off the already existing bond due in 2017 is going to be paid off. And what that would do is means that the 4 years that we would have ended up having to pay, now we've reduced the 750 down to 500. So 250 is going to be paid now, which is buying us an additional 6 years for us to pay that 250, which would have also been due in 4 years.
If you bring in this 2 billion Ghana cedis or $1 billion, what happens is that your interest rate is going to be anywhere 7%, 7.5%. The cost to you and I, the Ghanaian taxpayer, is $75 million a year, every year, for the next 10 years. And if anybody is not worried about a country paying $75 million a year, I don't know where.
Meanwhile, MPs used a greater part of the day's proceedings to correct votes and proceedings in the 2013 Ghana Investment Promotion Center bill, which is at the consideration state. Sitting continues tomorrow.
And then in other business news, members of the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council in the Western region have pledged to ensure that the members would ensure voluntary compliance and sustainable enforcement of the fisheries law, once again collaborating with the newly established Marine Police in the activities to ensure sanity in the fishing sector. Meanwhile, members have again denied the alleged usage of formalin for fish preservation, saying the statement was a false allegation. And then elsewhere, a negotiated corporate social responsibility agreement has been signed between Golden Star Resources and communities where it operates as part of efforts towards ensuring maximum development. The company is hopeful this would help sustain and strengthen the trust and warm relationship that has existed in the last few years. Up next, we bring you market data.
Business was brought to you in a...
Right, now time for social media, and we're going to go on to a Facebook wall. And the question we've been asking you this evening is, the UK High Commission has clarified the £3,000 visa bond issue, saying only a very small number of the highest risk visitors will be required to pay. Now, we ask you, how does this sit with you? And we've got some comments coming in. Kweku Mayo says, well, it doesn't make sense, and he finds it disrespectful in the highest order. Efo Selim says, I love Ghana. The British should stake their Britain. I won't pay a bond to travel to Britain. Owusu Samuel says, this is to tell us to develop our own nation. Abrocheno bi araneha. And Sikanku Isika, he says, well, no more traveling. Skyfall Ellie Johnson says, they're by force to go to the UK. It's their country. And Scalo G says, very bad. It's simple. Any British visiting Ghana also needs to pay the same amount. And Christian Agri says, the British should not cheat us after taking our gold. £3,000 is too much. How much do they pay when coming to Ghana? And Don Mugo says, how would they determine who is high risk? And then Patrick Simmons is also asking the same question. How do you refine high risk? As per usual, UK diplomatic language is deliberately ambiguous. Now, in addition to this, the very latest news we're getting, as you can see on the wires, we're getting word that the British Prime Minister David Cameron has slammed the brakes on government plans to demand a 3,000 migrant bond from high-risk overseas visitors after news of the policy provoked uproar in Delhi and threatened his attempt to boost trade links with India. So that's what we're getting now. There's the attempt, or we're probably getting a reversal or a U-turn on the policy. And we'll be investigating, and we'll bring you more as and when we have it available. But keep on posting your comments onto our Facebook wall, and we'll bring them to you. Up next, we'll bring you international news.
Sports is brought to you in association with...
Time for the very latest in the world of sports. We can talk about the Black Satellites, and some football administrators are calling into question the tactics of Ghana Under-20 coach Celestete in the ongoing FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Turkey. The Black Satellites have lost 2 group games against France and Spain, leaving them with a slim chance of pulling through. The usual post-mortem of matches have begun heavily in the country, and latest to join are Chairman of Tema Youth Wilfred Osei and Vice President of New Edubiase Alexa Kume.
I'm sad, honestly I'm sad, because playing against Spain, we played well, though Spain everybody believes Spain is the best team on the day, but we believe that our chances, we have a lot of chances we could have scored, but it's unfortunate. But I believe that our bench was bad on the day, because I believe that it could have do a better team than he did.
This is not a game that we should have even drawn. The boys came out to play. We really put pressure on the Spanish team, and we've given them food for thought. I must say that we cannot be that wasteful, because you play this way and you go home empty-handed. It's so sad and pathetic.
So there's the country, surely, and post-mortem will continue. Let's talk about the Black Stars. And Ghana defender Samuel Inkum has confirmed to Joy Sports he's likely to move out of Ukraine. The defender, who plies his trade with Ukrainian side Dnipro, was sent on loan to French side Bastia this season, but failed to impress. Inkum says he is seeking a yet-to-be-confirmed deal elsewhere.
Yeah, I think I went to Bastia, and which is loan, and it's 6 months, and for me it was very good, because everybody know French league, League One is like good league, and I had experience also to also go to French league. For me, I was so happy, you know. Yeah, I need to go back to Dnipro. I think I need to go back, and later on, if something will happen, then we'll see what to do. But for now, after loan, seriously, I need to go back to my team and see what will come next.
But do you have some clubs who are running after you?
Yeah, I think it's about 5 offers, you know, and my agent is doing the talking. He's still talking to them, and I will not mention any club. I think one of the club like Fenerbahce, you know, they are also there, and but I can't say, I will not say too much about this because I have a guy who is my agent, who also taking in charge of that. So he's also doing a lot of like talking, a lot of, so I will just, I think I need to go back, seriously, I need to go back to the NIPO and we'll see in future what will come next.
Right, now, Ghanaian football stars continue to explore their off-season period, and as part of activities to keep them in shape before next season, Stars captain Asamoah Gyan led an array of team members to beat Kaneshie Monday Stars 2-0 at the Pall Mall. All roads led to the Kaneshie CYO Park, popularly known as the Pall Mall Park. Though it was a grassless pitch, the likes of Stephen Appiah, Lai Kinson, Awole Kwei Jr., Peter Forikwe and Asamoah Gyan were on hand to entertain the fans. It was not easy for the Foreign Bay Stars, who had the going tough against the local Stars. Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan converted a free kick to open the scoring in the 51st minute. The goal gave them the needed edge for the Foreign Bay Stars, who netted the second goal. Right, so a lot will be going on there definitely before the season starts. That'll be all for sports tonight. My name is George Addy Jr. Israel will join us with Showbiz. You have a good night.
Sports was brought to you in association with.
Now, 2013 Ghana Music Awards Artist of the Year has officially received a brand new MC Saloon car, a new package that came with the award.
Let's get your hustle on.
Sensational Archibis won 6 awards at the recently held Ghana Music Awards, which included the prestigious Artist of the Year award. As part of their prizes for this particular award is a brand new MG 550 saloon car, which has finally been presented to them. The Ratatata boys could not hide their appreciation. The car prize was the initiative of the Musicians Union of Ghana and Musica President Bryce Osei-Kufuor, better known by his stage name Obo, was there to present the car to the Hip Life Group.
It's a dream come true. I mean, ever since I've been an artist, I've always, admired the strength of artistry and the kind of hard work that we put in as artists. And I've been looking for an opportunity for the music awards scheme that we do to improve the lives of musicians, to also, apart from just recognizing musicians, giving them something that is worthy, something that you can be worth it. And of course, presenting a $25,000 car to the Artist of the Year is something worthy, it's something a worth cause, and I think it was worth fighting.
According to Obo, a brand new car will be added to the package for the Artist of the Year every year.
Do it and don't watch nobody.
Right, to wrap up the bulletin, a quick look at our top stories once again. Residents are said to be fleeing the Volta region town of Alavanyo, where 2 people have died in renewed clashes with the neighboring town of Nkonya. The British High Commission has clarified the policy requiring Ghanaians to make a £3,000 sterling refundable deposit before entry to that country. In Ashamang, the roads work has begun on the roads that caused a massive demonstration yesterday. And the minority in Parliament are vowed to oppose government's attempt to raise $1 billion from the international capital market. That's it for the bulletin. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Israel Line. Have a good evening.